I have a problem, and I am a coder, so the solution was actually kind of fun. I'd like to show you how to do this if you have the same problem. I have a whole bunch of scans of this book that I want a digital copy of. This is a book that I bought. It's perfectly fine to scan it in and have a local copy of it. And when I scanned it, I just scanned the whole bed. And for this to be stitched together, what I want is like one PDF where each image is cropped and it's rotated and it goes sequentially and it's just a single file, because then I can like read it on my iPad and stuff. But if I'm doing this manually, my gosh, there's what, 65 pages, and I'd have to go in and like crop it and then say up here tools, and then I think it's like crop. I don't even know where it is. Crop. Oh no, it was there. Crop, and then I'd have to save it and then rotate it with my little fingers and bleh. I know how to code, so we'll figure this out and we'll do it much faster. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna code this in Ruby. Oh, if I can I get that? What's this? What's going on? Give me my file. And let's bring that over here. Great. Okay. We're going to do this in Ruby. The language doesn't really matter. I like Ruby. You could do this in JavaScript. You could do it in any language that let you execute terminal commands, because the core tool that we're going to use here is a tool called ImageMagick. ImageMagick is like a command line version of Photoshop. Anything you can do in Photoshop, you could do in ImageMagick. It's magic. It's very cool. So I think a good first step here would be, let's just see if we can print out the names of all of these files when I call this command. So right now, if we call Ruby Bookify, it doesn't do anything. So let's say hello, just to make sure that we're dealing with the right file. We are not. That was a good test. I did this before I cheated, so I've already done the solution. And I want to copy, yes. Bookify, yes, there we go. Okay, we're working with the same file. So the first thing I'd like to do is just print out all the different names of the files. So let's get a list of those by saying, I'll set it to a variable and I'll say dir.glob, and it looks like these files are named something.jpeg. And then let's print out paths and see if we got that. Yep, there we go. Oh, they're not sorted. Let's sort that. Don't you just love Ruby? So easy. Now, oh, no, because I had that from before. We got 0, 1, 2, 3. There's no 4. Why is there no 4? This is an actual problem I ran into. 4 is named .jpg instead of .jpeg. So we can fix that if we just replace this with an asterisk. That's just like a asterisk in this pattern means like nothing or anything. So this pattern would technically match like this .jp blah 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 g, and that's fine for our uses. But if we run this again, we should see that we have 4. Yep, 4.jpg. Great. Okay, so now for each path, let's loop through each path. I want to run a command, and the command is going to be a ImageMagick command. I guess first we'll crop it, and then we will rotate it, and then we'll stitch it together. And all of those things ImageMagick can do. It's literal magic. It's amazing. So I already did this, but I'll show you how I did it. First thing we need to do is figure out like the dimensions of this. So I just did this, and then preview tells you it's like what, 2142 by 2960. We'll do 2140 and 2958. 214021. We'll do 60 for even numbers. Cool. So those are the dimensions we're going for. The command that I want to run in ImageMagick is going to look like convert, and then the original path up here, path, is the input, and I want to say crop. And the format of crop is it's width, height, X, and Y. So I think that's 2160 is not right. Well, when I did this before, these numbers work well, so we're just going to use those numbers. 2130 by 2980. And then X and Y is like the starting X and Y of the top left corner. And I don't love that format, but it's fine. And let's just print this out for now and see what we get. We have these commands, and let's test out. Oh, I need to say the output too. That'd be important. So what do I want the output to be? I'll say that the cropped path is the path plus cropped and then another JPEG, which is not the most elegant way to do it, but it's fine. Getting it done. Cropped path. Let's get those commands, great, and let's run it for just this first one. So these are just printing out like as strings. This isn't doing anything right now. It's I'm just printing words out. But let's if I then run this in the terminal as a command, let's see what that gets me. Look at that. It is cropped. Boom. Okay, stage 1 is complete. Well, not quite. We've done it once, and now it's up to the computer to do it for us 65 times. That's the magic of coding. It's like after you figure something out once, the computer can do it for you. So that's kind of weird. Of like I'm printing out strings in Ruby, and then I cut and paste that command in this terminal. If you don't know how the terminal works, that can be kind of confusing. Here's a brief explanation of what's going on. Ruby is running inside of your computer, and you can think that it's like running inside of this language called Bash. So anytime I'm in this terminal, this terminal is Bash land that lets me say things like echo hi. This is like its own little mini coding language and lets me run other commands like convert is what ImageMagick is. So when I call this Ruby command, I'm calling it from inside of Bash, but now I need that Ruby to go like outside of itself back into the command line to enter its own commands. And the way that you do that is with a command called system. System is a function that will take in any string, and we already know that that string works because we cut and paste it. So let's just run that and watch. Oh, look at that. It's going through. Oh, and it redid the cropped. So we have a doubly cropped image. But you can see in here, we're just going through, cropping all of them. Oh, it looks so good. Looks so good. Look at that. Wow. And that's just going to go through all of them. Okay, while we're waiting for that, this is a mistake. Let's make it so that that doesn't happen. So I'll say next if path, I think it's dot includes, I can never remember, or include dot cropped. So now it'll skip ones that are already cropped. And then I'll say if the file already exists for the cropped path, or no, unless, yeah, so don't run this. Don't run the ImageMagick command if the file already exists, is what that says. Oh, and we're done. So now theoretically with these two changes, I should be able to run this again and nothing should happen. And nothing happens, great, because we're skipping all of the ones that are already cropped, and then we already have the generated cropped images. So we're good. Now let's rotate, and we want to rotate the cropped path, and the way to do that in ImageMagick, is we're going to say convert, and I'm now going to convert the cropped path because I'm trying to rotate the cropped image, and I say rotate 90 degrees, and by default this is clockwise, which I think is what we want. No, stop. Yeah, we want to rotate it clockwise. I don't know if, oh, that's opposite in my camera. It's this way is the way we want to rotate it, and this way is the way of a clock. But in my real world, I'm flipped horizontally, so it's a little confusing. It's fine. Rotate 90 degrees, and we're gonna, let's make a new path. We'll call it rotated path, and that's just gonna be our input path, which is just called path plus dot rotated dot JPEG, and let's do the same trick we did before so that we're not doubly and triply rotating. We'll also do next if that is rotated, and we can do that in a simpler way, but it's fine. We're just doing it. Convert that, and the output is going to be rotated path. Okay, and let's just print that out, and we'll test that single command just like we just did. So we're converting this cropped path, and we're rotating it 90 degrees, and we got to rotated, and let's check. Let's check just by copying and pasting this in here that we get a rotated image. Oh, amazing. Almost as if I just did this mere minutes ago and am now retyping my code. But of course not. That would be ridiculous. And we'll just copy this Same thing here so that it doesn't run multiple times. But this time it's going to be for rotated path. And now, oh, not that. We want the Ruby command. It's going to go through, rotate on, and you'll see it skipped the 0, 0, 1, and we're just going through rotating all of them. Oh, so pretty. We got all rotated. Oh, and I think I remember one of the last ones was duplicated. Yeah, this last one's a mistake. I'll wait till that's done though. Cool. So now the only thing we have to do is concatenate all of these rotated images together and convert them to a PNG. And there's a bunch of different ways to do that. There used to be this program called PDFTK that I would use for that sort of thing, and it seems to not have been maintained recently, and so it doesn't work on the latest version of macOS or on the M1 processors, which is the laptop I have, and I love it, but won't let us use PDFTK. And so I found out that last one was a mistake because that's the actual last page. Great. I found out you can actually use ImageMagick to concatenate these files together. And we don't even need Ruby for this because it is just all entirely in ImageMagick. So the way that works is you just say convert all of our rotated images, rotated.jpg, and I think all these are JPEGs now because I did that by hand. Yeah, all of them are JPEGs. And we'll say quality 100. I'm not sure what that does. I think it just makes the quality 100. Out.pdf. And this is going to take a second. Oh, my camera's... my computer's working. It's Hi, how are you? How's your day? Just waiting for this to go. Time when you're waiting for the computer is great because you wrote a program, you did. Oh, I think it's done. Out.pdf, and look at that. Amazing. We did it, and we did it in like less time than it would have taken just to do this by hand, even with this short book. And now we have a script that anytime in the future, if we ever want to scan in a book, we have a process for doing that. You can just, okay, you run it through this process, and you don't have to write the script again. You might put a little bit more work in like making it easier to write the script. So like the last step of that was catting together the PNGs to a PDF, and we didn't fully automate that. But like every time you go through that process, you can smooth it out a little bit more. And then if you're continuously doing that, life just gets easier, and everything you do will be easier to do. And so that's the joy and benefit of coding. That's it. Thank you for joining me on this episode of this Code Along, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.